Hello, everyone. Yeah, this is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show, or should I say Shalom. Today is July the 11th, 2019. Strong hand. Be a unique beast. Value your wealth in Bitcoin. Unconfiscatable. Having hype. One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. Offended by selling. Okay, guys, I am in Tel Aviv. I am exhausted. I did not sleep very much on the plane, or I didn't sleep very well on the plane. I ran today. I haven't eaten today. It'll end up being a 60-hour fast tomorrow. But I got to tell you, I was in motion nonetheless. The first thing I did, left the airport, got on a train, got to walk by my Airbnb. It wasn't ready. I walked straight to the Tel Aviv Bitcoin Embassy. Someone recognized me from a cafe. I mean, I'm like, wow, this is unbelievable. Bitcoin Embassy people. I walked into the Tel Aviv Bitcoin Embassy. There were a bunch of American kids who were on a tour of Israel, and their tour guide brought them to the Bitcoin Embassy where they were learning about Bitcoin. And I said a few words to them, and then another guided tour of American youth came into the Tel Aviv Bitcoin Embassy, and they let me give the speech. I gave the speech. No, hardly any sleep, no preparation. I just happened to walk into Bitcoin, and all of a sudden I'm lecturing all these 16-year-old kids. It's so exciting because these American kids, some of them, their fathers had it. One of them had a wallet already somehow, and Shmuel, who was there, gave some of the kids Bitcoin that had wallets, that set up wallets, and they were asking really smart questions. So it shows you there's a lot of room to grow, but there's a lot of interest because and some of them knew about Ethereum. So again, these are Americans visiting Israel, going, and they were. The second group was really tired looking, and I just pumped them up with the energy level, baby. I was on fire. I mean, they were like shocked. They see how energetic I was when they've been walking around in it was hot out there today. And I said, I just got off of an airplane from Baltimore, and it was a good time. I was very pumped. I commend the Bitcoin Embassy in Tel Aviv for doing this outreach and whoever arranged this. And I was asked a few weeks ago on this show, what should I see when I'm in Israel? And I said, well, if you go on the typical tour guide, you'll see the typical things, but you got to go to the Bitcoin Embassy. Well, looks like the Bitcoin Embassy is getting put on the tour guide list now. So I encourage anyone at the Bitcoin Embassy, and I'll talk to them, get on all the tours, not just the kids, because these kids, I think today, their Tel Aviv tour, they were visiting different technological places. So they visited, and they were interested in Bitcoin. So it's growing, baby. It's growing. And they were all 16 and younger, I think. I didn't even ask about their what their exact ages were. So yeah. So that's how my day started. Gave a lecture on Bitcoin, and I am totally exhausted. This might be as tired as I've ever been when I've done this show, and my mind's a little, I have to go to sleep very soon. It is 10:30 here. But tomorrow at 11 a.m., Giacomo Zucco will be on This Week in Bitcoin. I don't know who will be. It's hard to coordinate over Twitter. When Twitter is down now, pound that like button. Yeah, Twitter is down for some reason. But I do have notes from cool things learned. Of course, on Twitter, TechBalt, TECHBLT, and what am I? Sportsmeister.com. You can listen to my podcast, and disruptmeister.com, all my old videos, and things planned for Blockchain Week, which is around September 13th. I will still be here. I will be here for a while for all you Israel people who want to see me, and I'll probably see a bunch of you on Sunday. And again, you could just walk into the Tel Aviv Bitcoin Embassy any day of the week. It's not open on Saturday though, and I think it's closed for part of Friday. But any other day of the week, you can walk in there. All right. So I wanted to get to. I have mentioned this many times that Doug Casey has a free newsletter that I get over email at one of my old email addresses. And sometimes he has ridiculous guys pumping ridiculous ICOs talking, just talking a big game. They have no idea what they're talking about. They're throwing around the blockchain term. I had Doug Casey on the show beginning of 2017 before he jumped into Bitcoin. And it was really surprising how hardcore he got into Bitcoin. He saw it pump. And I think he had regrets that he did, because he could have gotten into it a lot earlier. So he didn't take the shift with. He still has his course. He still pumps gold, Doug Casey, but he jumped into cryptocurrency hardcore to a point where we got a little too far into it with some of these altcoins. But that's not why I'm sharing this article. He actually has some great points that those of us in the first world overlook. He talks about the third world currencies here, and I'm going to read you and why they need Bitcoin. That's not just because people who own cryptocurrencies are currently making money. They're saving an appreciating asset rather than a depreciating asset. You're on a Sisyphean treadmill if you try to save a third world currency. But 3/4 of humanity has no alternative. Nobody in these places wants to save the worthless local currencies. But by law, that's their only option. Billions will try to get into Bitcoin. They can transfer wealth outside of the country, which is very pulas, pesos, and such are worthless outside of the country that issue them. And that last point is huge. I forgot what it's called in Mozambique. Their currency is worthless outside of Mozambique. Angola, their currency is worthless outside of Angola. But in those countries, they are forced, sometimes second largest bank, just belly up. So not only have they the humiliation of being forced to save in this inflationary currency, but their bank stole from them. So some people I think in the United States think, well, these are just different color, everyone color. These things are like 20th level altcoins compared to Bitcoin type of stuff. All right, they're terrible, and he doesn't mince words at all when he describes it in here. And it's just a reminder why these for small. And again, a lot of people don't save in these countries anyway. They're yeah. How's that? Is that better? We'd have to that there's a big space in the show here. Fuck. No. Did everyone just hear me curse? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. Yeah. Yeah. That's when did the I was talking about Doug Casey and well, let me I'll get back to it. Someone said Planet Musk Vlog said, what about having a position? I don't think that's good at all. Dude, right there, that's the only 60%, 40% gambling. Come on, man. You could have asked that. You should have asked the 90%, 10%. Maybe you would have gotten me to say yes with that. But you wouldn't have. But no, that's not a good idea at all. Dude, it's over in size of the show. Yeah, everyone got to hear me curse in that one. Very, very funny. The one day I tell a bunch of kids to watch my show, the day I curse. That's just the way life is sometimes, guys. Hilarious. It's still I different I haven't experimented yet with all the connections here. There's a bunch of different connections. I should just get rid of my face here to save yeah. All right. Still, it's not under oh god. Hang on. I actually can't hang on, guys. All right. Is it better if you don't see me? How's the sound? How's it just how's it about my face? Connection is very is the audio, can you just hear the audio now? You still can't understand me with the audio? Oh, it sounds better now? Better? Can you tell? Good sound? Good so far? All right, we're back. We're back. I'm going to complete the darn show. Oh my God. All right. So Planet Musk, you asked if someone should go 60% holding, 40% gambling. That's not good at all. Why gamble that much? I said you should have asked 90%, 10%. But still, it's not worth it to gamble that much. We've gone over many times why saving is so important here. So no, I wouldn't say. I know people want me to say, oh, you want me to give a seal of approval to trading. I'm not going to give it a seal of approval to trading. All right. Never. Strong hand. Pound that like button. So I want to go back to Doug Case. I don't know if everybody heard everything. It to get a better connection here. The connection looks like it's good, but it's not good for some reason. All right, and hear me curse too. That's good. And so DK is right that these third world currencies are worth nothing, and that the people in these third world countries like Mozambique are forced to save in them, and that Bitcoin is a way out of that, and that in the United States what's going on in these countries, we think it's just they have a mini dollar or something like that. These things aren't at all like a dollar, and this is another reason why Facebook coin will do well in these countries also, because they are forced to save those countries' currencies, and now they will have an option to get something that will be much more valuable than what they've been saving in. Now, a lot of people don't know how to save already in those countries, so that's not good. But for those who want to save in those countries and are forced to save in their kwachas and whatever Doug Casey mentioned in the quote that I read that you might not have heard, they now have the option in Bitcoin, and that's one of the reasons that Doug Casey likes it, and I think it is a great point. And all right, Again, if you hear tomorrow, 11 a.m., all goes well with this connection, Giacomo Zucco will be on the show. And who knows? Ripple had an amazing tweet from a Rippler. Said, before I leave Twitter, I just want to say a big thank you to all the XRP influencers miserably wrong about everything. Not your fault that I listen to you, but I still and hope you all get hit by a bus. Ciao. Now, again, I think the guy admits that it was his fault, but he's pretty angry. And this is the thing. This is the influencers in the altcoin land, or those people who just these good marketers. Yeah, they're going to sell you the world, dudes. You cannot. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. That's what you need to know. Maybe some of these altcoins are going to have little developments that they bring to the table that are a little different, but this isn't going to be the next Bitcoin. You're going to end up disappointed. You're going to end up cursing and being angry on Twitter like this guy. But he does. At least he admits that he made the mistake. But then he points at the influencer. I didn't know there were really XRP influencers out there. I thought it was just like a bunch of bots that someone set up. And the people who I thought were real in the XRP army, I guess, I just can't. Anyone could actually fall for them. But then I watched a movie on the plane today, and you can learn a lot from it. It's called The Inventor, Out for Blood, and it's about Elizabeth Holmes and the company Theranos, which was a total scam. But you hear her speaking about it with such confidence, and she convinced Tim Draper, even the Bitcoin guy. He was wearing the tie in it, which was nice, of course. She told this confidence, and there were plenty of people working on stuff at her company, but the product that she said she had did not exist at all. And to this day, she still talks with confidence about it. She is just a personal liar. People have to realize such people not to get fooled and they claims with confidence. There in the space claims about being certain people, and they get huge followings, not nearly to the level of Elizabeth Holmes. I mean, Elizabeth Holmes was hanging out with George Shultz, all these politicos he had convinced. And so I think everyone in BSV should definitely watch this, and should try to understand how it applies to them. Because people can just, and she probably thought she was telling it on a certain level. I don't know. It's some wacky stuff. I don't want to be in her head. But very confident the way, and she used every trick in the book. She used her feminine ways to attract money from older men too, which again, that's part of the game. I mean, that's the least of what she was doing, the least of the immorality that she was up to. Okay, because she was just straight up lie. But then I mean, she did target men. She did target older dudes too. But that's not the bigger point of this whole thing. But every sociopath is going to use that they have to lie, okay? If they're good looking, if they're smart. And she was smart too. She used her brain also to convince people. But this is on a much smaller level. This is what's going on. It could be on a larger level. In the altcoin land, maybe in the Ripple land, definitely in the BSV land. This is the kind of thing. It's a good documentary to watch. I recommend it to anyone if you're traveling a long distance. All right, on a plane that has such a thing. And someone says fake deep voice female. She might be faking that deep voice. It's so wacky. She is so wacky. There might be some reason why she thought that was a good idea to do that. And she was sleeping with her CFO or the second in command. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. But again, the straight up lies that she's still telling, that just to look at her and to now know that she was lying, you can see how other people believe certain lie in our space. All right, finally, we were talking about Ethereum developers, and no, I have not read Bitcoin Billionaires 123 Notes. I don't really have any books with me. I read articles and stuff mostly. I don't have time to read books, and it would do it the way Naval reads a book. I would just read the parts that I was interested in, the subject matters I was in, and then move from book to book that cover those subject matters. So yeah, maybe a bunch of Bitcoin books, but a few pages from each one. I like that Naval approach book, big bookshelves. I love reading articles, and that's my main source. And more of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin information, blogs and articles and videos and such. And I watch a lot of videos. So finally, Ethereum developers. This is happened to be tweeting about this when I was talking about it. Total coincidence. He looked at the GitHub repositories, and actually in 2018 there was more stuff related to Ethereum than Bitcoin. Now in 2019, Bitcoin again, and he thought, well, maybe you can translate that into the amount of people actually working on Ethereum versus Bitcoin. So we've been talking about who's got more developers, Ethereum or Bitcoin, and he now is about with the GitHub numbers there. All right, that is it. I hope I made all my big points. Yeah, I hope everybody most of the Doug Casey stuff and the Bitcoin Embassy stuff. The kids today some of them were very interested in Bitcoin, and it only takes inspiring one or two or three, and that can make a tremendous difference. So kids do want to learn about this stuff, and I even said the stuff you learned in school is probably not as important as if you get into this Bitcoin and cryptocurrency stuff now. You'll be able to get jobs, you'll be able to maybe get into better colleges if that's the kind of thing you're interested in. So those of you out there who run other Bitcoin embassies in tourist cities, yeah, get on the tour map. Get people to take tours. And here in Tel Aviv, get other tour groups to come in. This is a great way to spread the word of Bitcoin, and I'm glad I got to help out a little bit today. Okay, that was a pretty wacky show, everyone. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Pound that like button anyway. I'm gonna watch this now. I'm Adam Meister, Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video, and of course, what do we say here? Check out those links below. I will see you guys in the chat. Thanks a lot for the super chat. Who sent the super chat? I do want to. I don't know if I said it. It was Planet Musk vlog sent that super chat. So thank you for the $4.99. See ya.